Hey, this is Christy Mattoon here from Mind Rewire. Why is it telling me to rotate my device? Okay. One of these days I'm going to figure this silly technology stuff out. Um, so please subscribe and like. Forget everything else I just said. Subscribe and like the channel if this is helping you. Please comment. Always leave comments. I love the comments. It also helps move the videos around. So if you can share them, I greatly appreciate that too. Get the word out. Let's make the world a better place for everybody just by sharing this information. My goal is to always make this easier to understand the body's technology so that you can use it faster and apply it to your life wherever it applies and be able to use it however you can. And that's always the goal, is to get you into a place where you can use your technology and actually understand it, because I kind of think that's what this is, right? It's just your technology. So what I'm talking about today is actually being able to practice getting into state. For me, getting into state is getting into that higher vibration. Once you can practice being in that higher vibration and you can feel it, feel it, feel it, it becomes a natural go-to. It just becomes a natural way for you to be. If you were born in a home of fight and flight, if you were born into circumstance, situations, issues, illness, like the list is endless. If you were born into that kind of stuff, you were born in a situation where your body's already triggered into fight and flight, learning how to do this becomes a key to a better life. Learning how to do this becomes a key to a better life. And so here's the one thing that we know is that when in fight and flight, if you stay there, reminisce on it, you stay there longer. It's like the cycle that you create. So instead of ever getting out of the fight and flight, you lock yourself into it deeper because you think about it, you focus into it, you send your energy to it, and then there you are. So practice getting out of it. It's what I had to do. I had to practice getting out of it. The more you practice it, the more fun it gets, which is kind of crazy interesting to me. And then the more you realize, some of the emotions that we talk about, the labels that we put to it, maybe you don't even understand what those are. I know I didn't. So I had to start creating just a feeling and then enjoying the heck out of the feeling, which is what the practice is all about. So practice getting into state, or practice being in your higher vibration. Here's how I do it. The contrast helps. Knowing the contrast, knowing this is high, this isn't high, this feels good, this doesn't feel good. So we're going to use the idea of the contrast. We're going to actually use the contrast to bump us into that higher place. Now, before you do this, you have to know what your higher place is. So you have to go back through either some of my old videos, or you have to know how to get into your higher vibration. You have to know how to do it. You have to know what it feels like, and you have to know how to get there easily. All right. And I do have other videos on that. In this video, we're just talking about the practice of having that feeling. Okay. So once you know what that feeling is and you know how to get there already, we want to practice staying in that state all the time. Here's how I did it. Find your contrast. So, and I drive all over the country quite often, actually. And so what I would do is I would start feeling for anger, feeling for sadness, feeling for frustration, feeling for confusion. My go-to feelings, my go-to negative feelings, my go-to feelings to the issues that I had. So like, for instance, confusion was pretty much a mainstay for me. Frustration was a main place to be. Sadness, over and over, working with people, removing deep, deep sadness from my organs and my body. Deep, deep sadness. And they weren't incorrect. They were absolutely right. It was there, but no matter how much they removed, it was still there. So that deep, deep sadness was very, very deeply implanted into my system. And so here's what I would do. Driving across the country, I'm like driving and doing nothing. So I'm like, okay, feel sadness. Feel sadness. See if you can find it. And I would literally go looking through my body for sadness. Like, do I feel sadness? Like, what is sadness? I would have to think about something sometimes to find what sadness, to remind myself of this is what sadness feels like. And then I would kind of hang out in that situation and then just notice if I could feel it. Now, right now, I can't even find it. I'm not finding sadness, and probably because I'm on here talking to you and I'm super excited. But if I felt sadness, so on my drive, when I'm feeling sadness, I would notice sadness and I would just touch the edge of it, just feel it, know that it's there, and I'd become aware of it. And then I would take that feeling of sadness straight into my heart and shoot myself back up into my higher vibration. So it literally became a game of feel the contrast, feel whatever the issue is, and then go into heart brain coherence, basically, is what it equates to. I would use the system to shoot myself into a higher vibration while thinking about whatever the negative emotion was, while trying to feel it. I would feel the negative emotion, drop it into my heart, and then shoot back up into that higher vibration. Remember, I already said this. I knew what my higher vibration was at this point. So I could get back to it easily. And what I was doing is I'm training my brain. Hey, here's sadness. This is what it feels like, but here's what the good feeling feels like. And here's how fast you can get back to it. And that was literally the game, is how fast can I snap myself back? Feel the edge of anger. Snap yourself back. Feel the edge of frustration. Snap yourself back. Confusion. Holy cow, my whole life, everything seems so confusing to me. So confusion even now can be super easy to find. So I'd feel, and it's wonky. Like when the second I said, I was like, ugh, I can feel it like all through my midsection. It just goes, feel it, shoot yourself back. The second I do that, right, and I have this little, I have anchored a physiological response in my system that I can do. And it's that little squeeze I talk about. Squeeze pelvic floor, squeeze lower abs, squeeze. It's like a squeeze all at the same time. A little bit of an inhale, and all of a sudden I shoot myself right back up into that higher level response, that higher level feeling. So you have to practice doing these things. We practice for years, and I'm using the term we for whoever's listening to this. If this is you, we practiced it the wrong way for years. I practiced staying in fight and flight by thinking about all the crappy stuff, and it wasn't even thinking about it for me because I didn't have memories to it. I just felt it, and then I would reminisce in the feeling. I thought that feeling was normal. I seriously thought that was like everybody's normal state of being, and unfortunately, I think it probably is. But it's not our normal as a physical being and a spiritual, right? We have that, both of those, your physical and your spiritual. And being in fight and flight is supposed to be a response that will save your life when you need it. It's not supposed to be a natural way of life. So learning how to get out of it, be in your higher state, and then figure out how to jet yourself back up into that higher state, because you will go back down into the normal response. See, it's not normal. You'll go back into that lower response just because of you're living on this plane. You're living in this reality. Things have happened. It got locked into your system. It got locked into my system. We were taught wrong. We were given false information. And now you have to figure it out and you have to change it. Here's what I know for sure. When I can feel a negative emotion and I use my anchor and I squeeze myself right back up and I drop everything into my heart and I let my heart take care of it, I go right back into peace. I come right back into that place where I'm just like, oh, everything relaxes. It just does. And then I'll try and go walk around and just be in that peace, be in that feeling, become that feeling, right? Become that state so that you can stay in it all the time. I'm trying to watch the clock here. Thank you for whoever's on here. Blessings and peace to you. So I hope this helps. Practice, 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 practice. If you are not practicing something, you are practicing something else. And if you're practicing something that's worthy, that's helping you, that's moving you forward, you're going to get a benefit from it. If you're practicing what we've been practicing our whole life, you know the benefits already because you've been there. How's it working for you, as Dr. Phil would say? For me, it wasn't. That's why I changed it. That's why I'm constantly practicing. I was actually sitting here doing this this morning over some stuff because my Wi-Fi crashed and I wanted my Wi-Fi back because I was working. Can't work without it. So anyway, blessings and peace to you. I hope this helps. Comment below. Please like the videos. Share them if they help you. I greatly appreciate that. I always appreciate that. And we will see you again next time.